So we're gonna open your eyes so you can see who you're gonna call if you wanna be free. GLOBEBUSTERS! 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 Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Yeah! GLOBEBUSTERS! GLOBEBUSTERS! GLOBEBUSTERS!
And welcome everybody to GLOBEBUSTERS.
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
And welcome everybody to GLOBEBUSTERS. We do have another great show for you today. We've got PARALAX, going to discuss that and some other things, and we've got a full house, and we've got somebody still listening to the intro in the background. I can hear it. Who's that? Somebody turned down. Anyway, we've got first and foremost Iru Landucci joining us again from the land over and across. Iru,
Hello, my friend.
¿cómo
Hello, everyone.
estás? ¿Cómo estás?
Bien, estoy muy bien. Si quieres te hablo con el acento inglés. I'm very good, very fine. Nice to be again on the GLOBEBUSTER show. I was really busy the couple of the last weekends because in 20 days I gone back to Europe. So I'm trying to get, the best time with my friends, my family. So sorry for don't be present in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but I'm now, so I hope it's gonna be a nice show.
It's all good. We just were. Now I'm hearing an echo for some reason. Maybe I should stop sharing my screen. Try that. See if that's going to fix it. All right, now we're good, I think. And we'll come back to you to ask you about the balloon in a second. We also got Austin Witsit Gets It, and all that fun stuff. NASA audits and Audit NASA.
Yeah. What's going on, Familia?
Another day, another $1.50. Well, that's what we're hoping for. We'll see. And we've got, let's see who else we got here. We've got Zack, Good Times for All, in the house. Zachary. Well,
What's going on, gentlemen? Jeran, I loved your show Thursday night. Dave and his app, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app by Blue Water Bay.
you got it down.
100K blue dots on the map.
We almost got
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations, Dave, for getting 100,000. The balloons were out of helium by the time that happens.
Now we have one user per word in the title. That's great.
That's good. That's good. We've also got Kyle Adams here. Kyle.
Hey, super happy to be here today. It's been a really crazy week for me.
Yeah, let's
My
start
mom
there.
just
Let's talk about
died,
that.
and so there's so much to talk about. Oh my goodness, like so much to talk
Okay,
about.
just so you know, now you're going to appear on all of RV's shows because you were laughing when you said that. Just letting you know that that's what's coming. So
Okay.
yeah, just go ahead and tell us what happened.
Okay.
She seemed to go down pretty quickly, huh?
Yeah, super fast. Like months ago, like she had breast cancer, like for a while, but we thought that was completely gone, and we had fought the battle with breast cancer and beat that, and then it was just last week that she was in the hospital ICU. She's been there for about 2 weeks, maybe. But then the test results came back and said, hey, she's got cancer in her lungs and in her lower back and in her like in her hips. And so that totally got us all completely off guard. And at first she's like, oh, well, I'm going to fight it. I'm like thinking, okay, go mom, you're a fighter. But at the same time, like, how do you fight that when it's in your lungs and it's spread out like that? And she's like, I'm gonna fight it. But then it got really painful for her.
Oh, man.
And she just got to a point where she's like, okay, I'm not gonna fight it anymore. And I was okay with that. I was like, it's okay, mom, you don't have to fight about it. You don't have to fight it anymore. Like there comes a point when you just gotta say, hey, this is God's will. And that's what she did. And I will tell you that, she just died on May 4th, Thursday, May 4th. And that morning and the night before, it hurt so much to think about it. It just hurt like terrible. And yeah, but on May 4th, the day that she died, that was actually my wife's birthday. And so, yeah, some birthday present, huh? But on May 4th, I got to spend the entire day with her in the hospital, and she was talking to me and we could understand each other, and the whole day with her. And not many people get that. And so I was incredibly lucky to have that. And
I'm
so,
glad that you got that, because it is a good point. Now, you can't choose how people go, but the way
Yeah.
my mom went,
Yeah.
I never got to speak to her. Never, she dropped out of a heart attack. So I'm not saying I wish she was sick or anything like that. And actually, at the same time, I'm kind of glad that she didn't have to go through that, to be honest. Like, I never had to see her suffer because she just dropped dead. So
So,
but
I was going to say that that whole day that I was with her, she was very adamant about this was the happiest day of her life. The happiest day of her life. And all my siblings came into town. My brother flew in from Sweden, and she was like holding on. I've got to see my sons. I've got to see my children, and before I die. And so, like, we're all just cheering. Hang on, Mom. Hang on. Just wait for my brother Trevor to get into town. And he actually got there, and yeah, she got to see us all right before she died. And she's like, this is the happiest day of my life, being able to be here with my kids. And she's only 55 years old.
Wow.
Okay. She was young. And it was really cool to be there with her. And
how many kids does she have?
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
yeah, well, my brothers were out there running out to Vegas to go pick up the one brother from Sweden. They were the brave ones, because the moment whenever I left that room, it hurt. Okay, and I kept saying, it doesn't hurt out there, but it doesn't hurt here with my mom, because when my mom is with me, it doesn't hurt. But when I'm out there, that's when it hurts. And just requesting work off that morning can I get the weekend off, because my mom is going to die. And that I couldn't talk about it. I couldn't talk about it at all, because it just hurt so bad. But I got, but anyways, just being there with her, like, it didn't hurt when I was in the room with her. And after she died, it doesn't hurt, because she's with me. I feel her with me everywhere I go. I promise you. And so I can talk about it now. And like, yeah, like, she's there. Like, when I watched, like, as a kid, when I watched The Land Before Time, your mom will always be with you. They're not talking about just in memory. They're talking about in spirit. Like, her spirit is there. It's with me. I feel it with me everywhere I go, which is kind of a daunting thing, because before she died, she looked at me and she said, "You're a good dad." I'm like, I'm looking at myself. I'm seeing all my imperfections. I'm like, well, I might not be the best dad I can think of, but I will be better. I will be better. And especially, now I know that she's watching me and I can feel her with me. I will be better. And so I was saying that, it takes, for Peter Parker, it took losing Uncle Ben, and for Batman, it took losing his parents. And so when you lose someone near to you, yeah, it's a excellent opportunity to level up, become a superhero. And so I also wanted to really say that she kept asking me, do you have any questions? Is there any questions you have? I don't have all the answers, but whatever questions you have, just let me know. And so I asked one question, not because I didn't know, but it's because I wanted to have some kind of experience for him. Like, okay, on the other side, okay, just flatter globe. That's it. Just flatter globe. Because when she got to the other side, I wanted to hear it from her. That was it. That was my one request at her deathbed. And so, and I told her that I wanted her to meet Bob Nodell and Rob Skiba. That was it. And so I want you to go meet these my friends here. And so, yeah. And as I was laying down at night, because those memories, it's like the whole life story comes flooding back to you. Like, yeah. And then in the nights following her death, they just come flooding back to you. And I could feel her with me in those memories, and it's not just memory in spirit. Her spirit there is just triggering all these memories of the life that she was able to give me, and I could feel that, like, this impression that she met Bob Nodell. She was there with Bob and with Rob Skiba, and she was excited. She was like, because my mom is not a flat earther at all. Like, she's never been a flat earther, but she was really excited. I'm here with Bob, and I'm here with Rob, and she was really surprised. And so it was a really cool experience. Just as I'm laying there in bed, I just kind of feeling that. It was such a cool experience. I just had to share it with you all. And so it just, yeah. So yeah, death is not the end. And that's my big message for all of you here. I got like her whole funeral. That's all on video. And though every moment I had like of her, of my last moments with her, like anytime someone walked in the room, I had my camera out and I was recording it all. I'll get it uploaded when I get the chance. But yeah, it's such a cool experience. So yeah, thank you for having me today. Just giving me this opportunity to share that with you, because yeah, it's such a cool experience. And yeah, it's cool.
I love that you were able to see the beauty in all of it too, Kyle. You are very strong and just, what should I say? Like an old soul, it sounds like to me. You have that old soul in you that just knows it's all right, and you absorbed as much as you could during that process. You weren't in fear so much. You were, there for her and strong. Yeah. Well done, man. Well done.
So I'm glad Cami's with us here. It means a lot. It just because spiritually, I'm over here just giving her a great big hug, saying my mom is with Bob right now, and Bob is okay.
I didn't see Cami's here too.
Yeah,
Cami, there, or are you? Oh, sure.
I am here. I feel the hug, Kyle. The energy waves that we get are overwhelming, aren't they?
They are.
Just like when you feel like you've been hit with a knife and that you can't get up, you can't go any further, and why are you doing things? And then all of a sudden, it's almost like there's an electrical charge and a beam and a happy memory, and I don't know, even like visions of different things, and say, we're not.
Bob is there with you too.
They're with us. Just like these bodies are not meant to be eternal. They're meant for us to learn in them, and that is my humble opinion. But everybody has their own journey on that. I do know that again in past ages, it's always been about what is the meaning of life, and right now the biggest change and things that are demon-like and going on, in my humble opinion, are transhumanism and us trying to shed our humanity when I don't know. I've done a lot of research through the years. I don't know if you guys have all remembered the shows where when people have died and there's a little bit of a weight loss. Are you familiar about that, when the soul leaves the body? And there were a lot of different
I've heard that before,
shows and information on that where they physically have measured the body, and the body will measure just a little bit. It's a very small amount.
Yeah.
And we were discussing it, but it makes sense, because the difference between living and not living is you interacting with the system. It's your heartbeat. It's your electrical system. You are part of it. And when life enters you, that's the spark of life. I truly believe when they talk about the spark of life, it's your electricity, your spark, your soul. And I think when the soul, that there is more to us than just this avatar body. That spark that leaves, you're no longer interacting with it. Your body now goes into entropy, if you want to be scientific about it, but you're no longer there. You're all around you. You're now, you would say, a light body, but the spectrum is so much more than just light now, isn't it? I have charts of the spectrum, and the visible light spectrum is such a small slice of it. You are all around us. Your energy, I feel it. A lot of things we don't know, but I'm sorry about your mom. She's so young, younger than I am. I thought Bob was so young, and it's so raw. It's so unreal now.
But yeah, when she's
We
with
wanted
me,
to dance
I
a little
don't
bit
have to.
longer,
I don't
yeah.
have to hurt when she's with me. That's the
Right.
amazing thing. Yeah, I don't have to hurt when she's with me, and yeah,
You don't have to.
yeah.
And you hurting doesn't make her better. That laughing that RV is going to make on a video, let him, because every emotion hits so strong when you lose a loved one. That, again, to capture pieces of it and to do vile things in video, it speaks more about the makers, not about the person. Well,
Yeah.
I have just really saddened up the show. Welcome to GLOBEBUSTERS, everybody. This is Cami.
So happy to have you. I've been
I'll go-
itching and
yep.
just waiting for you to come and be on GLOBEBUSTERS with us, and so yeah, I'm so happy you're here with us.
It was going to be in the background today, but I came forward a little bit. Hi, everybody.
Thank
okay,
you
I'm
so
gonna-
much, Cami.
Okay, you guys have a great show. If you do pull out maps and distortions, I might pop right back in. You never know. But you guys, thank
Just
you
stay
all.
with us here, and yeah, we love you absolutely.
All right, you guys, back to redo the intro. Let's start this thing over.
No, we'll be okay. It's good. We have to get it out there sometimes, at least. I like having Bob in the intro. It just brings back good memories. So, and Kyle, sorry about what happened, and I think that you'll be stronger because of it. Seems like you're taking it quite well. So, good job on that.
It's been amazing. My voice is a little bit shot, but that's really not because of the crying, I promise. It's actually because when my siblings and I were together, we got together and we're playing some video games last night. And when we play Tetris Attack on the Super Nintendo, we get kind of animated. So we were just having a lot of fun last night. That was my mom's favorite game, by the way, is Tetris Attack on Super Nintendo.
All right, not very many moms play Super Nintendo, so you got that going for you too.
Yeah. I was, like I said, incredibly fortunate that
How many
she played
kids
games with us.
How many kids does she have?
I've got 4 brothers and 1 sister, and I'm the oldest.
Okay. Oh. Wow. Well, that's great. I'm sure she raised some good quality people. Seems like it. So, let's get into the show. Did we get everybody? Yeah, Zach. Okay. Well, Ira, I guess you can start out by telling us what happened. I don't know, with the balloon. I was going to try and say this.
With the balloon, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I've been waiting to hear about this.
Well,
you're gonna
it
keep
was.
waiting.
I think maybe I can send you a link to show some images. But the bottom line is that, first of all, the launch place, it's about like 15 hours from here, from the capital city of Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
So they went there, and they take with them 2 tanks of helium, but apparently one of the tanks wasn't completely filled. So they inflate the first layer. Remember, it's a 2 layers balloon to reach the 50 kilometers. And they fill the first one, and the second one, it doesn't fill, not even completely, but I think like 20% of the balloon. So they
It expands when it gets higher. That's why you kind of don't completely fill it, right?
No, yeah, they know about that and things like that. But they contact the how you say, the company that they consult, and they say that it wasn't a nice idea trying to send it without the 2 balloons with the right amount of helium.
Mm-hmm.
So they abort the launch, and they reprogram the launch. I think in 10 days they going back and trying to redo, because they wanted to. They want to send something with the I don't know how to say, but with the
In Espanol.
certificate, complete the mission, if you want to see in a way. So they abort, they de-inflate the balloon, they storage the balloon, which is a very expensive balloon, and they're gonna back, I think, in 10 days and refill everything and trying to send it correctly. They don't want to risk, all the equipment, because they're gonna put P1000 camera,
Oh yeah.
and a lot of
$2,000 cameras.
Yes. So no, sorry, not the P1000, the Sony Alpha 7 or something like that. And they're gonna put. They have a very expensive equipment to launch, so they don't want to lose any chance to everything goes right. So they just abort. But in the official rflat webpage and Instagram account, they give all the. In fact, they was live transmitting live, streaming live during the night of the balloon launch, and they abort in the live stream too. Very sad moment, but this thing happened. The money is still there. In fact, because they already pay the helium tanks, but they're going to put their own money to refill the 2 tanks completely and everything nice and well and good and resend it.
All right, well, good. And you said about 10 days, huh?
Yes, then I'm going to send you the link for the Instagram account. Of course, it's in Spanish, but they are, presenting all the data there too, and the dates and how everything's goes.
Okay, sweet, awesome. Austin, do you have anything going on this week that we need to know about? I know you had your debate. I want to get that guy on my show, the guy that you debated with. I think he's hilarious.
Me too. And I'm going to say again, Austin, invite me sometimes. I make it the support on video, and especially if something related with NASA and visual effects and things like that, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would love to do that. I didn't set that up. I got asked to do it like the night before, and I never heard of this guy, but I was like, yeah, sure. He was a bit of a loose cannon.
You think?
Yeah, and I mean, I got frustrated at times, frankly, but he is funny. So I think that in a situation where he doesn't feel like he has to like
yell and
defend himself or like be in a debate, I think he's probably pretty chill on it. But yeah, so I haven't talked to him or anything, but I guess Flatzoid is doing a hit piece on me right now about it, saying I'm pretending to be a flat earther with this guy to make us look bad or some gay stuff. But
these guys have no.
Yeah, it was
his
just
knowledge.
Happened.
They
How was this guy you debated? Did he know anything?
He seemed like he knew pretty much. Yeah.
He knew some stuff. I mean, some stuff he maybe needed some touch up on, but
he used the most amount of curse words ever used in front of Austin without Austin calling him weak words.
Yeah,
definitely broke that record.
Even if what was I gonna do? Like, daddy, my partner in a debate, like
even. I mean, for me to say something was excessive, something's wrong.
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah, but I think he's from like that Twitch, TikTok realm where like toxicity is the norm,
I guess.
And but he is definitely funny. He's also, I will say this, you can tell like flat earthers are just like have quicker brains.
Yes.
Like both of us are much faster.
Yeah, because those guys will just say something that's like a total joke, where they'll just be like, "Do you have any proof that the Earth moves?" He's like, "Yeah, because the stars move in the sky." You're like, "What? What are you talking about? How is that proof?" He's like, and the guy even had to say, "Oh, no, I think about it. I guess that's not proof, huh?" No.
Yeah, see that plane flying by? That proves that we're moving.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that doesn't work at all. Sir.
Sorry for interrupt you guys, but I sent the link for the Instagram account, especially the last link is the actual live stream of the balloon. So if you want to put it in the background just for the people that support the project, and
surely, yes, you put it in the chat here.
Because everything is transparency. I mean, this type of things happen. But important thing is the balloon doesn't explode, and we have everything, the equipment, and so it's just a matter of time. Sorry for interrupt.
No problem. How long is this video? Can I just leave it playing? Is it a long one? Or is it going to end pretty quick?
Yes, I think it's a long one.
Okay.
Yes, I don't know exactly because I cannot see here because it doesn't appear the time in the timeline of Instagram. But just for you share in the comment section and the box section.
Okay. Very good, very good. What else did you have going on this week? You seem like a busy man, Austin.
Yeah, we're doing a lot with the Audit NASA stuff. So I guess I launched the Relatively Speaking show. I launched on Monday, then did the Skull and Globers on Wednesday. Then I had Sean and Hibbler on for my first What's It Kicks It. show Thursday, and then I did the debate Friday. I was supposed to have PhD astronomer Professor Parks on, but he rescheduled for next week. And then we launched Audit NASA, so officially changed to Audit NASA instead of NASA audits, and then broke it up into regions and have all the different positions. Created an NDA and a volunteer agreement form to weed out all the infiltrators. And anyway, so that there's a lot going on with that, encrypted portals and all kinds of stuff behind the scenes. It's going to be pretty epic, and we're doing that right now. And if anyone wants to be a part of it in any official capacity, you have to sign this volunteer agreement form that says you won't reveal any of the secret or any of the private information during the missions and stuff like that. And I'll drop the form in the chat. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm doing. Then I have, this weekend my wife's family came into town, so I've been kind of doing that. I think that's about it. I just can barely keep up with everything going on, but that's how it goes.
Yeah. Oh, I know the feeling. It's getting pretty tough. And then Kyle, we kind of know what your week was like. Not great. How about Zach? Anything?
Well, great and terrible is the way my brother described it, and I like that description.
Right. Zachary?
Yeah, I fixed my Wimhurst generator this week.
All right, let's explain what that is.
And I don't understand it. I'm going to make a video about this. I just did it the other day, and I fixed it on accident. That's how most things happen for me, at least. Let's see. Are you seeing me?
Let me see.
Or
yeah, now we are. Let me bring.
How do I turn the camera around? I just want to show you this generator here. And
pin?
Okay.
Good enough.
Come on, Flip. My phone hates me.
No, it doesn't.
It does. They all do. I think it's because of the way I treat them. I swear.
Treat them nicer. See what happens. You do a test. Okay,
I think it's because he plays with electricity and tests the coils, and we shock the heck out of him. They're a bit frightened of him.
Oh, now he's frozen.
He's frozen now. I can go push him and see if he moves.
Okay, he's back.
Coming back.
Kind of.
Well, while we're waiting for him, I'll say some of the side projects while we're waiting to get him back, along with the different things. We are, for channel creators, especially ones that have children, I'm especially interested in. Maverick is coming of age a little bit. I am putting together right now kits, like learning kits with magnets, with Polaroid filters, with all kinds of lenses and different things on learning. A learning kit, and we're going to be previewing it with some of the people with their kids and seeing it, and trying to put together little kits for people to order them for homeschool projects. So we're working on in the background a lot of different testing things that are a lot of this right now. We're in testing. It's getting things.
Oh, somebody broke their shelf.
What will work? Is that you, Zach?
Now it's broken again.
I'm going to walk back and see what's going on here. His camera is down. I don't think he knows that he's broadcasting.
Okay. Don't show.
Luckily, I'm wireless.
Luckily, we're not actually showing that in case anything comes up on screen that we didn't want to see.
It's not coming up yet. Hello. Oh, he's gone in a different room. He's not where I thought he was. He must be in the garage.
And what is this?
It's not.
Oh, now we lost him. Alrighty. Oh well. What's going on here? Maybe he's come back. Maybe not. Maybe.
Come back, Zach. Come back.
Zachary?
Zachary?
All right.
Huh? We lost you?
I can move on to
something. Oh, he's bringing it up with his machine. He's almost there. I see it.
Great.
Now, if my microphone had a camera, we would have been in good shape, but it doesn't.
Eber, were you there with the balloon, or you're just watching live? He probably left. You guys there? No? All right. We will go on with something else. Let me show you this. Let me get this over here. Oh, there's Zach. Let's see if he comes on. Zachary?
Can you hear me, guys?
We hear you, Hero. Yes.
Okay, okay, because I was like some delay or some sound problem. Sorry.
No problem.
in my-
Did you
my
go to
computer.
the launch or no? The balloon launch? No. right?
Again?
Did you go to the balloon launch or no? You stayed home?
No, because I
in
was in Peru
Oh, Peru. Okay.
when they launched we gave a conference in Peru.
How many people?
At that night.
Was it good show?
Well, 240 people, which is very for being in Peru,
Mhm.
which is a very small country, and it was a lot of people. A lot of the nice thing was that in the audience was a lot of professional people in the ground of engineering and architects. So that was nice to talk with people with that type of professions. And but it was a really nice conference. We give 5 conferences in only 2 months between Argentina, Peru, and like 3 different cities here in Argentina. And in fact, in 20 days, I'm gonna give another one based on the electric universe. So there is a lot of
Nice.
new people coming into the movement.
I got an idea. I want to hear my idea, and this is something I've been thinking about for a little while, and I just need people's help on figuring out exactly what the item is that we need to do. So let's say that we pick an item that we want NASA to do that they have not done. Let's say, just for an example's sake, we'll just say put a camera on the moon. Okay. So what I think we should do is make a nice image that we can hand out to people that kind of says, NASA, this is what we want. We want this from you. And it's our space agency as well. It's our money. It's our tax money. And we deserve it just as much as anybody else. And then what we do is we kind of give a script to people and we put it out there and we tell everybody uploads a video on July 4th that is directed to NASA. We'll probably name them all the same thing, like Dear NASA or something like that. And then if we have enough people, let's say a miracle happened, 1,000 people upload a video on that day, all addressing NASA to
Nice
all get the
idea.
same thing done
Nice
at the same
idea,
time.
man.
Then I think we might get on the news, and that might actually put some pressure on NASA. The problem is, what do we have them do that can be easily spoken by anybody? Because it's not going to be, we'll each make our own video, but people at home who maybe just have their iPhone, we can show them how to put the image behind and use something to record over it. But what can we have them ask for? Any ideas? Or I guess people in the chat can also think of something. Whether it's a
I think anything will work. This is how the First Amendment community works. One person will go and do an audit, and if it goes poorly, they will flood them with hundreds to thousands of calls and emails and post on their Facebook page and their Google Maps page, anywhere they can put a review. And they will just flood it and flood it and flood it, and they get attention that way. They really do.
Yeah,
I don't know how well it would work for NASA, but I know a lot of the police agencies and city buildings, they get major changes done, like signs taken down that are unconstitutional, all kinds of stuff that wouldn't be done if just one person did it.
And see, if we think of something that they should be able to do and they don't do it, then we can keep putting pressure. Every time we start our shows, we'll just say, and by the way, NASA still has not completed the thing that we asked for that would only cost this amount, that should be simple because it's 2,000th of their budget or whatever it is. We just have to figure out what that item is, whether it's they have all these pictures of Saturn we looked at last week. Well, where's all those images of the Earth? So I don't know what it would cost.
And this is all flat earthers can get behind.
Yes.
NASA is lying to us.
Right.
Nobody disagrees with that.
Yeah.
No flat earther.
Oh, I'm sure these idiots Flatso will make a video saying, "Oh, Jeran's not a real flat earther. He's doing this so that he doesn't get NASA's attention." I mean, it's just so stupid.
So with Audit NASA, are we starting soft and then
this has nothing
and
to do
then
with
gradually working up towards harder and harder questions, or just starting straight for the hard stuff?
That's awesome.
Oh, that's a question. Are we starting
Austin?
soft, or are we gradually working towards harder and harder questions?
I don't know if Austin's there. Austin, are you there?
What? Say, repeat it.
All right. So with Audit NASA, are we starting with soft questions that are a lot easier to answer, or are we just starting with the hard stuff?
Oh, well, we have like all kinds of different things. Like I think it's very important to be tactical about it because it'll get ruined and they'll get a heads up. But
So soft then?
Well,
Topic
just
road?
loaded questions. I don't think the move is ever to go in there and be like confrontational or try to call them out for anything. It's just to ask them questions that are loaded. So I wouldn't say that any of them are going to be softball questions because they're all loaded, meaning like there's no proper way to answer the question unless you just disavow or something, right? Like, yeah. So like what Justin did, right? He's like talking to the astronaut. So I noticed that they use a bunch of harnesses and wires on the ISS and a lot of the footage. I was wondering why they did that. Is it to like keep the astronauts to help keep them in frame? Because it's kind of hard to keep them in frame, right? Where that's obviously a trick question. I think like that, like
Instead of
yeah,
asking,
much
do you
any-
use harnesses? Why do you use harnesses? And that's a much more potent question.
yeah, like if you just like go in there like you're lying, you're not going to get any cooperation. What we want to do is kind of trap them into contradicting themselves, contradicting the mainstream story, saying that they don't know things that they would have to know if they really went to space. And then obviously just getting like all kinds of different, demanding that we get all kinds of different information and additional verification of their claims. We want the training footage, all kinds of stuff. So I think there's really no limit on what I want to do with it. I'm open to anyone's suggestions. We have an assignment topic in the Telegram. We have like, we're building portals. So all kinds of suggestions and stuff like that. I think that it's just an idea of like a unifying the efforts together to put the pressure on NASA. So I don't have any, it's not like any like strict parameters of what we are not going to do. I think it's like different for everyone, right? We got people in Australia, Canada, Mexico, the 10 regions of the US, all that. So everyone can do their own little thing. But if you're going to represent Audit NASA, I think that you have to be professional. You have to be respectful. You have to be a good representation of, say, True Earth. But we're not talking about the Earth. We're just talking about how they're lying about space. So that's kind of my vision with it.
Excellent. That should be great. And then just a shout out to everybody. I'm trying to see if I can figure out the date real quick. Oh, I think I don't remember. So there's an eclipse coming up in, do you guys know when? Is it October? No, I don't know when it is. I have to look it up. But so there's a couple guys. I know Dwayne Kellum's one of them and another guy, and they are going to be doing a balloon launch, and they want to have multiple people to do it. I'm trying to
Is this a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse?
I don't know. Let me see here. Let me see when it was. I know he has it in here somewhere. Let me find it. No, I don't see it in here. I'll find it in the when you guys are presenting or something. So
I show up. Oh yeah.
Go ahead. When do you see? I can find.
I'm looking at upcoming eclipses, solar eclipses, April 20th, 2023, hybrid solar eclipse. Is that with total eclipse in Australia, Southeast Asia?
No, this is way later in the year. Let me see exactly what it is.
October 2024. So it must be a...
Wait, October 2024. Let me see.
Of 2024. That's another year, though. That's not this year.
See if there's a date.
I just keep thinking I want to get my polarized lenses before then so I can be all prepared for it, because I tried it with tape before, but the tape I had just wasn't acting like a polarized filter well enough. So
you need more than polarized. You need you're going to take your eyes out with that, but we'll talk about it before the eclipse. Kyle, we will.
Okay, good.
But you said there's not one until 2024.
Well, I looked for upcoming eclipses.
Okay, so this guy says Jeran, hey, Dwayne Kellum and I are going to be doing a large balloon launch in October during the next solar eclipse. It bisects the U.S. with Oregon down through Texas. If you guys are wanting to do an experiment, I think, so you're saying that he's wrong, it's in 2024.
Okay, yeah, and the Monday, April 8th, 2024. Oh, that's April.
What about October?
It looks like
October.
Okay, October eclipses. Let me try another. The total was coming up of next year. Let's see, October. I'm Googling.
Yeah, supposedly it's a solar eclipse coming up in October, so he wrote, but I don't know.
October solar eclipse. Total solar eclipse, October. Ooh, very nice. I'm glad that they tell us other things. Anticipation of 2 solar eclipses that will cross the United States on October 14th, 2023 and April 8th, 2024. They're giving me the April, but not the October until the next one, October 14th, 2023. So it's a couple
it
weeks
goes
before
right-
Blacktoberfest.
And it goes right over Vegas. They're going to probably try. No,
It does look, I'm looking at the map, it looks
pretty close to Vegas.
pretty close to Vegas. I need glasses, but yeah, it looks pretty darn close. I'm sorry it took so long. I can send it to you if you want it now that I found it.
No, I've got it now. I found it here too. I'm just looking at. It's an annular solar eclipse. That's not a full eclipse. What's an annular? Is that what they call the full one? I don't know if it's a full one or not. The one that's it might be.
It should be.
So it's kind of.
Yes.
I mean, that's a good spot then because, I mean, if we had people. Again, what's weird is that whenever you see a balloon launch, for the most part, I usually see the sun off to the side. So it'd be great if we had somebody launch from New York and somebody launch from California and somebody say down south, and see if everybody sees the sun away from them, which would be impossible. I mean, it needs to be above somebody. You can't have.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, your annular solar eclipse, I thought so. I wanted to make sure I was right on it. They're saying that because the moon is farther away from Earth, it appears smaller than the sun and does not completely cover it. So it's a full eclipse. You'll see a full circle around it, but it will not, which again, in their model, if you move the sun as far away as they do and the moon, that small amount of distance should not have the effect that it has. That's going to be another proof right there. The annular eclipses will be another proof of flat Earth, because that's not going to work in the
hybrid eclipse that just happened. I'd made a video about this like 2 years ago when I heard about it, because it's the moon changes sizes dramatically. It starts as a ring of fire, and then it goes to a total at the center of it, and then goes back to a ring of fire at the end. And there's no explanation for that. The moon does not change its distance that drastically to be that
by
close,
comparison. Yeah.
and then that close again in that amount of time. It just doesn't make sense.
I can tell you it won't work in physics. He's absolutely right with that. So nothing does. I mean, the preponderance goes on, but that won't do it being totally circled. It is one of the rarest eclipses because of the fact that people compare it to a partial eclipse, which it's not. It will totally center in the middle of it. It just will not entirely block it out.
I remember doing it on GeoGebra, though.
Yeah.
I thought that it worked out on there, but I can't remember exactly how I did. I'd have to do it again. But and then also, so yeah, if anybody's interested in joining that, you probably should. The cost is going to be probably about $2,000. That's if you're putting on some sort of cheap camera that you probably already own, or that's not counting if you're going to go buy a special camera for it or some sort of, who knows what you're going to put on there. But if you're just talking about like a GoPro that you already have, or maybe an older GoPro that you spend $100 on eBay or something like that, then you can have that. You're going to need some battery packs. You're going to need some heating pads and styrofoam box, the balloon, the helium. So we can kind of start getting a list for everybody if people are interested. So maybe just reach out to me, and I'll ask Rick is his name, who's going to be working with Dwayne, if they want to have a group together, or get together like a Telegram group or something. But I think it'd be great if we had a whole bunch of, and this way, if somebody's balloon fails or something, it's not the end of the world because we've got 10 up there or something.
That's right. Anybody that's a ham operator out there, they might want to call in too and do special. I know that with Bob, we lost that, but the radio tracking on the balloons, if you're actually a ham operator, you can do the specialized tracking. So it would be nice to have some of those people on our team that we could tag them and follow them that way. Just added
yeah,
bit
it's
of
good
a
to
lot of
have,
information.
we learned our
do that
lesson
way.
about having one fail safe, right? We got to have more than that.
Exactly. The ones that we did not have fail were the ones that we did the radio tracking on, but we used Bob's call sign and that to do it. So I don't know. I'm sure we have ham operators in the groups. So another group of people on the list to come join us.
Okay.
I hope these balloon things start taking off and more people do them. I would like to see somebody tether a very long, very skinny wire and not try to get as high as you can, but that won't be the goal because it's going to have so much weight on it eventually. But I want some measurements of the electric field at least like 10,000 feet. Because usually it's like 2 kilometers is about the highest we can get a wire up there, connected to a rocket still, and then the thing disintegrates and creates a lightning bolt. I would love to know the actual potentials between different parts of the sky and the ground.
Started
because the way
Ironworks
NASA does it,
fundraiser.
yeah, one of these days. That's something I really want, though, is actual data of what's going on up there in the sky.
Why don't you just believe Daddy NASA? They've got all the information you need.
I looked into how they do it after Bryant was given his whole spiel on they know what's up there. They admit they don't know what's up there and that it's, so far from being 100% accurate that you can't. Unless you have a connection with the ground, measuring the potential between the ground and that high up is almost impossible. They still can't do it, not at any efficient rate whatsoever. So yeah, I want to know what's going on up there with the electricity. That's my big question. I asked Dwayne Kellum to look into it, and he said he would. And yeah, it's probably something like that. You're not going to get the balloon very high. It won't be 100,000 feet because the wire is going to start weighing a lot once it gets real long.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'd like to see something like that.
Alrighty. Let me bring this back over here. I'm going to see if we can get this working.
Oh, can I show this real quick, Jeran?
Oh, yeah, sorry, we wanted to see that. That's what we wanted to do. Go there.
Yeah, can you share the screen? This is an electroscope.
Okay.
You got it. Can you come in here for a sec? I'll try to get.
I am coming right now.
Or not an electroscope, excuse me. This is a Wimhurst generator. It's this one, like the generator that I let Austin borrow, the Van de Graaff generator. You guys have all seen that one before. That one will get up to about 250,000 volts. This one does like 450. Now, I have a disease where I have to take things apart to see how it works. And I did that to this, and when I put it back together, it wouldn't work. It's very simple. And I just figured it out. What I did, I put these plates in backwards, but the plates are exactly the same. There is no difference in the plates, no difference in these. I can't find a difference. And the only reason I figured it out, I started turning it backwards on accident, and it started working. So if anybody out there has any, kind of experience with these, I want to know why it doesn't work when I just simply flip these identical plates around. It makes no sense. But this thing, listen to this thing crack. Show right up here, camera.
Oh my goodness.
I can feel it. And you can smell the ozone. This thing will create ozone. Yeah, I love it. It hurts though, so I don't want to get shocked by it anymore. It actually has its own capacitors, which allows it to create a little bit of amperage, which really, I got shocked the first day I had it at Flytoberfest.
Where are things like that used right now?
It's just for experimentation. It's just to separate positive and negative charge, or high potential and low potential, if we want to get real technical. And then you can.
It's just a hand crank generator, and you just barely crank it at all, and all of a sudden you get quite a bit of output there.
Yeah, it really. I don't have to crank it that fast, and it'll build up the charge. Let me move that a little bit closer. I love this thing. Now, this was donated by somebody at Flytoberfest. Believe it.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it really is. It's but I figured it out. I didn't figure it out. I mistakenly fixed it. But I would love to know why these two identical plates right here, no difference whatsoever. That when I flip them around the other way, everything still works, except I don't get any kind of charge. I would
We
love
are
to know.
looking at the next Nikola Tesla right here, just asking questions like this and trying to build things from the ground up. And I think that's kind of what we need to try to do more, is establish that kind of a curriculum where you're learning the basics of electronics, kind of the way the old great inventors work, just kind of from the foundation, saying these are the basic principles that go to this, because it's really hard to find anything like that out there.
It is. It really is. A lot of those papers, Kyle, you have to pay for them now. If you want a lot of these guys' papers that they wrote like while they were in school, it's hard to find them. It really is. Without
And to
paying.
do that and to break it down into like the most basic things, because this looks like a pretty basic
It is.
thing. It's not requiring these complicated components that go to it, and just kind of doing that. It's crazy. Just a lot of that stuff is kind of held under lock and key, and we don't want you to know about it. Only our select people can know about it. And it's nice to see stuff like this out in the hands of the common people.
This is going to be like, again, with the Homeschool, the How the World Works channel that can transcend everything. I can tell you it's how things work in reality. It's not a flat Earth channel, but I can say reality does not function on a globe. And if you start looking at the pieces and checking reality, but yeah, we're bringing it back to reteaching how the world works. When I saw that National Geographic was sending out crystal growing kits that you poured in and it was molding glass, my heart sunk. That's not how it works in reality. Things grow. Electricity, again, this is our passion, is to teach it to the children and go forward. But the adults, if they look at it and learn it, you'll see why they're hiding it. It doesn't work on a spinning flying water ball. But the physics are real, and how the world works, and the electricity and the different functions and the charge potential in that. We're going back to the basics, to where they twisted the model. And it was pretty. Again, it's at the point that Zack is working on, and I'm working on it. It's reproducible. It's everybody can do it. Everybody can get equipment. Try it. It passes every filter of reality, because it does work in reality. It's very real.
I love just seeing how the flat Earth is really inspiring all these people to get out there and do stuff, to actually experiment for themselves and make these contributions to society of just learning the basics. And yeah, that's amazing.
Well, if there's nothing that flat Earth did, it really woke up people to science, because they had completely been lulled to sleep. I mean,
I hated physics.
People didn't do any science. People hated it. They and again.
They make it as complicated as possible and say, only the select few experts out there can understand this stuff. Let us do all your thinking for you.
Well, they put it with the people that could make the math to get around the system and come up with the creative way to create something out of thin air, which is black holes and things like that. You have to put it into a creative mindset, and you have to keep smart people busy. And if you tell smart people that they're like, you solve this impossible problem, find out what black matter is, do a black hole, do the different things. You keep a monopole, take apart a magnet and find one of the poles. Again, you can keep people millions of dollars occupied, and our fabulous scientists occupied for years. We can tell you can't take apart a magnetic field, because it's a system, and you can't just have a North Pole or a South Pole or a monopole, because it doesn't work in reality that way. You can, instead of divide, you can actually take the magnets and take a whole bunch of them together and create something called incoherent magnetism, that functions exactly like a monopole, attractive only. And that happens in our ground. I mean, that happens all around. It's part of the way that we function. It's everything puts in together. But if you see how things work, it works. We think we're stupid, and we take ourselves away from science, because what they're saying doesn't make sense. They teach us things like Faraday effect. They teach us all of these different things in math that are not math, they're optical. They take our visual and turn it into math, and shut down like 80% of the population by doing that. If people only knew that these things were very simple and optical, and the math was
Yeah, I've been saying
Just
that.
a way
I've been
to describe
saying-
it. Just a way to describe it, and to make people feel they're too stupid to look at it.
Right. They really put a wrench in everything, because if you think of all of human ingenuity and inventions, they've all come from something before, right? Nobody just woke up and says, I'm going to invent a camera. That never happened.
Right.
I'm going to invent a video camera. It never happened. It happened progressively. Like somebody saw that light coming through a hole, put an image on a wall. Then they put paper on the wall. Then they took the paper out and they said, can we make more paper? And then they flipped the paper and found a video camera. So that's why there's no inventor of the camera. But the reason I bring that up is because we kept inventing things. We kept getting better and getting further along. And I don't think the elite could keep up. The elite could not keep up with the innovations of society. So what did they do? By intercepting it and putting NASA at the helm and said, okay, space is the culmination of what we can do. Space is everything. NASA takes care of that. And then humanity as a human race has just been stuck. Now we're just stuck because somebody's taken a fake world and put it up in the sky and been like, oh, one day we'll go to Mars. And people are just like, okay, cool. I guess we'll sit around and wait for NASA to figure out how to do it, because there's no innovations coming.
Exactly. If you want to be a scientist, be a rocket scientist.
Right.
Go nowhere. Sorry.
I was going to say that the more I study history, the more I see Protestantism as kind of like the flat earthers are like Protestants against the Catholic Church, but in this case, it's the flat earthers against NASA. And when this whole Audit NASA thing, that's kind of like Martin Luther nailing his proclamation on the door of the church there, you know what I mean, on NASA's door. These are our issues with NASA, and yeah, I just think it's really funny.
I, like you, Jeran, I grew up Catholic and went to a Catholic school, and I even taught CCD class for a while. When I was teaching CCD class, I was amazed because they were dumbing down everything for the second graders for First Communion. They no longer had to, by the time I taught CCD, they no longer had to learn the 10 Commandments. They had shortened words, like no God, one God, that's it. That's the whole commandment. It's like, well, we were smart enough in second grade, and my parents were smart enough in every class before, but they were working on dumbing things down. But I did look into the Catholic religion a lot, because as I got older, I found it was really gross that I was drinking the blood and eating the body, and it's like all of a sudden this clicked in, and I was completely really grossed out by it.
It's a little strange.
But when I looked into the Catholic Church deep years ago, you learn a lot of different things. You learn that the priests are celibate. I don't know if you've learned this, Jeran, but the priests are celibate because the church was collecting money, and if the priests were allowed to marry, the church wouldn't inherit. So that's how celibacy started in the church. It came with different things, but I don't think the Catholic religion was really a true Christian religion. In my humble opinion, the Catholic religion did exactly what it wanted to do. Catholic means universal. It literally translates to universal. And I know because my first husband was a Protestant, and his mother at Protestant church, she had a thing against Catholics. And she told me that it always bothered her that when she said one of their prayers that they talked about praying to the Catholic Church, and she said it was entirely wrong. And I was like, oh no, it's a small c, it's a universal church. I think
praying to a church? What?
Yeah, praying to And one of the things you pray to or pray to a Catholic, and it's like, well, Catholic is meant universal in this Protestant prayer. It's one of the Protestant prayers, but the Catholic religion, it literally means universal. And in my opinion, I think the Jesuits or that, again, I think that they were sent as Christians under the guise of Christianity to spread the ball. That's really what they sold to every religion, every society, everybody. They didn't sell Christianity to it. They didn't get Catholicism into Japan or into China or that, but they did sell them that they did tell them the fact that they changed it out, that they told the people, made them believe that they lived on a water ball. The Jesuits in the Catholic religion seeded the ball, but that's just me. I mean, everything about it, Catholic and universal. And where did they? You have the different things. I think Christianity was just again, a front for the Catholic Church. Cardinal is to crook. To actually turn things. They turned the way that you read the directions, the ordinal directions turned into the cardinal directions. You look what they did to the maps and everything through time. It's those damn Jesuits, Eru.
It usually is the Jesuits. They're up to no good.
Yeah, they are behind a lot of things in terms of the religion. But studying history, I came up with, and I think everybody does, or everybody is going to do it if make the same research. Everything is origin in Sumeria. Sumeria, I don't know how to pronounce in English, and everything is a copy.
Sumer, yeah.
Quote unquote copy of their ritual. They are the mystic race, the mystic origin after a flood or after whatever, or a big reset or whatever it was. The great enigma is Sumeria. They was the first to write about the flood, about the serpent symbology of the serpent. But for example, in terms of the serpent, and I experienced that with the ayahuasca in Peru, because I have that vision of two serpents coming and ask me to give me the knowledge or whatever. And the only religion that complain about the serpent is the Catholic. The rest of the quote-unquote religion or philosophy, they saw the serpent as a guide, as a knowledge and things like that. And they don't want to normal people get knowledge, because knowledge is going to give you a wide range of freedom, you know. But coming back to the main topic, yes, Jesuit, in fact, they took it's not a coincidence. It's a consequence that when the Jesuit went to Latin America, they took a lot of the ritual and knowledge and medicines and plant of the Queros, which are the originals people there, and they stole a lot of their knowledge based on plants, and then took to Europe and, you know, make their pharmaceutics and a lot of things. But in fact, for example, you have two big plant medicine or medicine plants in Latin America. One is the ayahuasca and the other is called huachuma, and it's a cactus. And in fact, the Jesuit, they use so much the huachuma to trying to get more knowledge from the quote-unquote ether, that they call San Petros. Because in the Catholic religion, San Pietro is the guy who opens the door of the heaven. So every time they took that medicine and experience with alternate state of consciousness, they call it San Pedro, but the original plant is a cactus. It's called huachuma, and that people use it all the time in the past. So we don't know exactly where we come from, but a lot of the actual religions took a lot of knowledge from Sumeria. And if you study, in fact, the first theorem of triangles is not from Pythagoras; it's from the Sumerians. So when we call the Pythagoras theorem, or I don't know how to pronounce, it's not based on Greeks. The Greeks took from Sumeria. That is
Pythagorean.
Pythagorean. Thank you so much.
Pythagorean, and you're right. The Sumerians, you're right. It's where everything backs all of the religions back into it. It's I don't know, spot on.
Yeah, and then they update and add maybe new rituals, new ceremonies, but the base, I think, is on that path.
Okay. You still want to show you, Zach? We still have you on. Enough of that. Zachary.
Zach, do you hear us? Zach, are you there?
I don't know if he still wanted to show it or not.
I don't think he sees us. I'll walk. You can probably take him off. I'll go and see where his headphones are.
Sounds good.
But very, very nice. I'm sorry, I'm mesmerized by the screen. This is why our electronics go out all the time. Is we're always running electricity at the house.
I mean, this is embarrassing. I just got to bring this over here. If anybody believes those Saturn images, like, what's wrong with you? What went wrong in your life that you would ever give things like this credit for being real? Look at this. What could they be thinking here? This is I'm at Cassini again. If you want to do it, you can go to Cassini's images, Where's this at? Well, it's Cyclops, CICLOPS.org, which is the home base for all their images. But I mean, some of these are just so blatantly, I mean, this is just ridiculous. Why would anybody believe that? And if I take these and I'm copy image address and then I'm going to photo forensics, which I don't know where I did that up, and putting it in there, and you can just tell when these things are not even, they're like pieced together. I'll show you. Let's see if this one comes back the same. So upload URL, and then we're going to get a choppy. Trying to see if there's a square around it or anything like that. I still have to look at it. I thought that blacks turn white and whites turn black. It's so weird that it's not doing that correctly. I don't know if that means there's something wrong with the image. Again, this is not foolproof, but still, what is foolproof is going through these and just laughing hysterically that people believe. I mean, look at that. It's a cross section, crisscrossed rings. Guys, do you realize what they say these rings are? First of all, they say that these rings are icy rocks and ice in orbit of Saturn.
I don't see shit here. I don't know if you are sharing with us.
Oh,
Jeran,
sorry, I
but
can share with you. Hold on. Let me get that up there. Start sharing. Okay. Now it's this one.
now, yeah, that's a rock, man.
Yeah,
How
little
can
rocks.
you doubt about that?
Now imagine, because as
Perfect
all these little
alignment
white
rocks.
rocks are coming around here, like if one of them got out of order, then it would hit the next one, which would cause a complete catastrophe of everything.
You don't understand
I guess I
the
don't.
order of the cosmos.
I don't. No, I get.
No, you don't. It's just a matter of perspective. That this is very far away, and the
Yes.
rocks are there, but it's so small in terms of distance that is how they produce this smooth surface.
Wow, it's so beautiful. Do you know?
Yeah,
How,
it's
do you know how
beautiful,
deep
man.
they say these are? How thick the rings are?
1,000 of kilometers.
No, how thick? Thick.
Thick,
like
2 meters.
2 meters, 6 feet? No, I think it's 30. La 30 feet. What would that be? 6 meters. 5 meters. No, that's way off. What is 10 meters?
10 meters, yes.
Yeah.
It is
30 feet thick. Like think of a dime and then the thickness. That's how thick they say those rings are. 30 feet, 3-story building. But I mean, again, it's just ludicrous that anybody would believe this. And I'm embarrassed. Like I want to live in a world where everybody can look at this and everybody at once say fake. That's why I want to live in that world. And if you're somebody who looks at this and says real, I don't really want to live with you anywhere. I don't. I think
One little meteor could crash through that, and oh look, there's a hole in it. But no, you don't see any holes in that thing.
I learned so much stuff this week when looking at planet facts. So let me ask you this, guys, on the panel. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I didn't know it either. What is the most dense planet in the solar system? Density.
Uranus. Jupiter. No.
Not Jupiter. It would probably be
Pluton?
Mercury. Mercury.
No.
I'm guessing, yeah, closer to the sun.
I'm guessing Mercury.
No.
It's Venus.
No.
It's Neptune.
No.
You're gonna make me go
First
down
one,
them
yeah.
all. Neptune, Uranus. It's not any of our gas giants.
It's Earth.
Oh
Can you believe that? I mean,
No.
more dense than these.
no, that's the inhabitants.
Yeah, they
So
are.
are they actually telling the truth there then? That's like actually one of the truths? Like the ground is denser than all the stuff above our head?
Yeah, I mean, I started looking at it
okay.
that way too, but they don't. I mean, they of course then take in mass and then they throw it way off because then they say there's a lot more mass, but it's less dense. So it gets a little bit crazy, but I thought that was very interesting, and just seeing that have you heard them talk about the moon must be hollow? Have you ever heard that before?
Yes,
Yeah.
based on
No.
some impacts and how the moon keeps
Well,
shaking and
I think
blah blah
it's-
blah,
The way
and the
that it's-
seismometers and blah blah blah.
I'm just still thinking that gravity is not supposed to be the strongest on Earth, though. So I don't know. That's kind of weird. Earth is denser, but gravity's not the densest on Earth.
Right. I was getting confused too, but gravity has nothing to do with density, according to them.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, very weird. I was gonna see if I can
I
find.
think
this
that
real quick.
deserves a video unto itself. Is just kind of, yeah, that's an interesting topic.
Yeah, and when I had this little, let me see if I can find it. I know it's outside my computer in my garage, but I'm gonna see if I can see this. Maybe is it this one? There was like this chart. This one's not the same. There was this nice chart that came up. I'd have to get it out of my garage. I don't remember where it was that I saw it. I kind of can picture it, but I don't remember. What was I looking at when I got it? But when you see these charts and like, so basically the moon, which is what, 1/4 the size of Earth, is that what they say?
Mhm.
Is like 1/100th the mass. So it's way. So that's why people say it's hollow. Is because how could you have a solid body 1/4 of the size of the Earth, but it weighs 1/100, or its mass is 1/100th? Seems strange. But when you start looking at all these different, God, I'd have to go out in the garage and get it because I don't see it here. But all these different things that are just, I never even seen them comparison, in comparison to each other. So what is the mass of every planet? They say, what is its speed? How fast does it go? I mean, like if I asked you, how long does it take Jupiter to do an orbit? You know that one? Jupiter's orbital time around
70 years.
Yeah, it's like 20.
No, 17.
Well, it's 22,000 days. So what is that? I didn't see. 12 years. Is that right? According to this, 12 years. Is that times? Does it seem right? 12 times 365?
I know Saturn is like 27 years.
Oh, I thought that. Oh wait. Oops, I put in Jupiter. I'm sorry. I meant Pluto. Did I say Jupiter when I asked you?
Yes,
Yeah.
you say Jupiter.
Pluto is 248 years.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I just learning all this stuff. I was like shocked. I was like, what the heck? But I can't remember what I was looking at out there, so I just go get it. But maybe it's in here. No, Wikipedia. No, I don't see it. Oh wait. Maybe it was on this computer. Is it this thing? Oh, I remember being on this science site. Maybe not. Let me go one back. No, I don't have it here. So anyway, there was just all these weird numbers, and so guys, we are going to go to Rockfin here in a minute, and we're going to cover. Who said something?
Oh, that was me. I was like, I should be dropping that in chat. I'm sorry. Just keep talking. I'm getting busy.
No problem.
I forgot I wasn't on mute.
So we've got. We're going to go to Rockfin, and we're going to start doing that regularly. So please become a member. Although if you need to watch it for free, you can, as long as you're watching the live show. So 12 noon Pacific, and you can watch it for free. It'll stay free until the end of the show, and then we'll just put it on to Rockfin members. So if you're not a Rockfin member, it really helps out a ton of us. So there's almost all of us here are on Rockfin, and you also get all the other shows that are there. It's the kind of the last place we can speak freely for now. So let's support it if we can until it cannot be supported anymore. So we're gonna head over there, and then we're gonna cover while we're there the top 10. Get this right. Shoot, now I gotta pull up what the name of that video is. It is the top 10. No, we're here. Top 10 flat Earth predictions proving Southern Hemisphere is larger than the North. I thought it was a very good list, so we'll go through it and we'll ask. We'll kind of go through the panel and see what they think of each one, and then we'll do a final thing on parallax just to make sure. If you watch my channel the last 2 days, I kind of covered it because I find it absurd that once you realize, and then Dave Weiss pointed out that he had no idea about arc minutes, arc seconds, and thought it was very helpful for me to go through that. So I might do that again, and then we'll kind of talk about what you guys think are the actual chances that somebody could look in the sky and be able to differentiate or narrow things down to an arc second, which is just insanity to me. You know what else is insane? Just think about right now, picture you sent a craft away from Earth. You just send it off. There it goes. It's an Explorer satellite. It's traveling out to the outer spaces. Now imagine that it's gone 13 billion miles. Okay, so you threw it out, and it's just been traveling for 30, 40 years, whatever. And then imagine somebody's telling you that they're still in communication with that device. Think of how big that device would be now. So think of it as it's not even a bus size. It's like a mail truck size, or a small pickup truck size. Now picture that pickup truck being thrown out, and now it's billions of miles away. Think about how far it'd be away at 100,000 miles. Think of how far it would be away at 500,000 miles. Now start getting into the millions of miles. Then get into the billions of miles, and some assholes are telling you that they're communicating with it. They're just sending, and then if you look at the time that it would take for those things to get there anyway, it's ridiculous. I forgot what it is. It's like 3/4 of an hour or something, 45 minutes. So you got to send a beam and then wait 45 minutes for it to receive it or not. And then it's got to return to tell you whether it's received it or not, which is another 45 minutes. It's ludicrous to me. I think it's funny. I think it's funny that people have been duped this hard. It's so hard. It's such a LARP. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, the power it takes to send a signal starts, it has a battery. It can only send so much power at one time.
No, it's got plutonium extra, multiplexer demultiplexers on there. And what it does is it recycles its own heat to create. I mean, how freezing cold would it be out there? What is going on?
2 Jesuit per second.
Yes, yes, exactly. All right, guys, we're going over to Rockfin. We'll see you guys over there. The link should be in the chat, I believe, and we will say goodbye to the GLOBEBUSTERS people. To the GLOBEBUSTERS, to the YouTube people. All right, guys, we'll be right back over on the other side. Thanks. Bye. All right, we ended that one. Okay.